It was a windy day. We were in Thornton, Colorado, and we were going to Target. We just parked. We were opening up the doors to get out. Myself, my son Christian, and my daughter Monica. Monica has autism and sensory processing disorder, and it was a windy day. Wind is not her friend. Like I don't know anyone who really likes the wind unless it's like a cool, nice breeze that's soothing. But for somebody who has sensory needs, like my daughter Monica, the wind is unpredictable, so that's a little scary. So she was like, trying to fight. It was a fight just to walk into the store of Target. But she was happy on this day because today was the day that we get the pink dress that we saw at a different Target, and we're going to buy it today because there was a school activity that she wanted to wear it to. So she was excited. So we went into the women's section, the junior part. Before we got to the dress, Monica saw Alice in Wonderland. She saw Alice on a sweater, and this sweater was pretty cool. So of course she was excited as she saw that. She loves Disney movies, and she wanted that sweater. So I was like, all right, Monica, we can get that too. So I put the sweater on my shoulder, and then we saw that dress next. So she was happy. We found the right size. I'm like, whew, because it was been a journey to look for it and to find the right size. So we did. So she got it. So we went to the fitting room so she can go try it on. But then Monica started to change a little bit. Like she loved the dress, it fit. So we are like, yes. And but that wind, just being in that wind, it started to trigger her, and it's not her fault. So we were leaving the fitting room, and then she started to just get kind of negative with her self talk to herself, just saying things that she doesn't normally say, and so her tone was going up here, and I can tell that, oh my gosh, all right, that stupid wind. um, I gotta help her out. So she was barking a little bit with her words. Like I said, she was negative self talk. She wasn't happy about anything. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right, Monica. Even though she, was in this moment where she's not happy, she's not feeling good. She may not like what I was gonna do with her to help her out with her sensory needs to help her body and brain start to calm down so she can come back down to herself. But it worked. So here's what I did. There's plenty of space. We're at a super Target. They're the bigger of the Targets. And I was like, okay, Monica, um, I want you to crab walk to me. And of course, she's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do no blah, 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 crab walk. But she does. So she crab walks to me, and I probably backed up about 5 yards. So she crab walked to me. And I was like, okay, Monica, uh, bear crawl. And I made her bear crawl to me again. And she's still like, sucker, rucka, nugget, like a cartoon. But she did the bear crawl. Um, and I had a thing I wanted to say about that. Um, she started to, with the second one, with the bear crawl, you can hear her tone a little less high. You can hear her start to make a turn in the right direction. After that, she was starting to come out of how she was feeling, and I was like, okay, Monica, together. So I was looking around. You always got to be spontaneous. It's like I've learned how to use what's around us and then to remember things that work for our body and brain to connect so we can get organized, get out of the situation. So Monica could be Monica and get that whatever it is that goes inside of her is what we call it's like, who jumped inside of you, who jumped in Monica because that's not how Monica acts. Monica's a good girl. We love Monica. She's caring, she's loving, so we take out whatever pretend play character that we say jumped in our body. So it could be Zool from Ghostbusters. It could be Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, whoever. So the last thing we did for an activity for the body to get this necessary input, this craving that it needs to help it um, start to relax, focus, calm down, is I saw clothing racks, and I know that we like to walk in circles. So I saw like two big clothing racks close to each other. So it's gonna make for a big circle. So I was like, yes. So I was like, okay, Monica, let's walk in some circles. So we're walking in these circles. As we're getting a few in, I start to notice as we're talking about stuff that she's starting to tone down and she's getting back to herself. So once we finish these circles, and I don't know how many we did, I'll say maybe 10, it could be 12, that when we were done with that last circle, she was actually done with that negative self talk and whatever other ingredients were trying to jump inside our body because of that wind. So wind is can be a trigger for kids with sensory needs. Like I said before, it's unpredictable, so it's scary. So I believe when we finish that last circle, that wind left her body, and she pretty much went from negative to positive, and she was back because she was like, "Hey, Dad, hey, I'm back to Monica. I feel good." And I was like, "Yes, Monica." I was like, glad. I was like, "I'm so glad." And she was like, "Oh, that darn wind. I do not like that wind. That wind. It got me. It triggered me because now she she advocates for herself, so she will identify the root cause." And then after that, we just celebrate like, "Yes, Monica, I'm so glad we beat that evil wind. Who jumped in your body? Whoever named it," she says, like, "I'm glad we got him out." It's like, we got that person out of our body. That evilness is gone. You are back to Monica. Let's go. Let's go check out. Let's get your dress. Let's get your sweater. And so that was a good finish. Sometimes we can get it like that. Sometimes it may take longer, but I think the key takeaway is for a parent is to know what your kid likes, especially when something um, troubles them in their day and they're having like a rough moment. If we have tools in our toolbox, it can definitely help them out. In our case, it's talking about Disney movies, like favorite scenes. It's doing some heavy work type of activities to help the body and the brain get the information that it needs to feel better. So for us, it's like therapeutic. It's like our form of meditation is to do activities for the body, and at the same time, so I'm also a fitness trainer also. So when you start to do something good for your body, like exercise, no matter what it is, you're walking, you're climbing, you're doing some type of stretching, you're doing some type of exercise, whether it's at home, the gym, wherever, as long as you're doing that type of movement, doing some positive movement for your body, your brain feels good. And when your brain feels good, whatever negative stuff likes to come in there, it starts to gradually leave because the body is now happy. And when the body is happy, it's the negative stuff does not like that, so it starts to leave, and then you feel better. So that brain body connection by doing activities for us has been really helpful, and also talking about a favorite Disney scene, a favorite movie, or it could be a favorite song that's from Disney is also helpful too, because to us it lights us up like a Christmas tree where we're feeling really good about everything. So it's kind of like me, for example. So I like my music. If I listen to one of my favorite songs by, let's say, Def Leppard, I know how it starts, I know how it finishes, I know how it makes me feel. And if I'm having like a rough moment and I go into my toolbox and listen to a favorite song, that can make me feel better, and I can reset, go back into my day, and have positive energy to just just identify that, you know what, it's just a moment, and I can get out of it and I can reset, and it's not going to affect the rest of my day. And that's like the mindset, the mentality that I've learned, more so the last couple years as I dive more into mindset, and to just remember, you got to have patience. You got to I just had on my mind, you have to observe the person and not judge them. And in this case, it was the wind that was a factor for Monica that affected her brain and body, and it was not her fault. But it's just she is a little more sensitive because she has sensory needs, sensory difficulties, sensory defensiveness. So if she cannot help herself out to self regulate, to calm down, to relax and feel better, then it's my responsibility, it's my job, it's my duty as a parent to learn what helps her. And I just had to pull out a couple of tools, and I was happy that, we got it, we crushed the obstacle, and we had a good rest of the day. And just note, this story was about that, but my son Christian, younger brother to Monica, is a loving, caring, and supportive brother, and he is always very calm through these moments. And sometimes Christian on his own will jump in to help Monica, and she will listen to him because they have created a bond where he makes up play characters for her sometimes and has entered her world by choice because he wanted to learn how to play with her. So when you have little bonuses like that, like other people who understand the language, who want to help and make a difference, then it just makes the family more closer. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, any takeaways, drop that in the comments. If you need some suggestions, if this is like, hey, resonates with you a little bit and you like some more ideas or suggestions, you can actually you can drop in the comments um, that you want some more ideas, and then I will give you my information and you can contact me and we can take it from there. I am so happy on this day that we beat the elements, we beat the wind, the evil wind, and Monica was happy she got her dress. She was happy she got a bonus, a Alice in Wonderland sweatshirt, and that all of us as a family had a great rest of the day. And that's what it's all about.